back with another video today. If you're new here, welcome. I'm glad you're here, and don't forget to press that subscribe button. So today I just want to give you all a quick little update. I am finally off orientation. I have made it to the finish line. I don't have a preceptor watching over me anymore. I have my own patients and I can't believe it. I've been waiting for this day for a long time, way before I even started nursing school, and now it's here. So it's kind of surreal, but I'm going to tell you guys how that's been going for me. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so when I was in nursing school, and even when I was in orientation, I would always seek out the new nurses, the ones who have only been working for 1 to 3 years, and I would always ask them the same question. And that question is, did you feel prepared when you came off orientation? And they usually always give me the same answer, and now that I'm in their shoes, I understand why they would say that. So you guys are probably wondering the same thing, did I feel prepared by the time I got off orientation? And I will say yes, to an extent. When you're in orientation, you obviously aren't going to be able to see every type of patient. For example, I never had a patient with a trach, but I know that one day I probably will. So when that day does come, I'm just going to have to go with the flow and learn as I go, ask other nurses for help. But I will say that I learned a lot while I was on orientation. And like I said in the previous video, orientation was 12 weeks long, and then we had 2 weeks of classes in addition to that. So I have technically been working on my new job for 4 months as of today. I am on my 3rd week off orientation, so I have completed 7 shifts with my very own patients. I just feel like a real nurse now. But as I was saying, I did learn so much while I was on orientation. I also learned a lot in nursing school when I did my preceptorship in the NICU, and that definitely helped me out a lot. But I really did have a great experience on orientation. I really can't complain. Everyone was so helpful. I learned so much, and I really would say that it did prepare me for this moment of me being off orientation. But with that being said, I do go into work nervous pretty much every day because I don't know what kind of patient I'm going to get. I don't know what their condition is going to be. I don't know if I'm going to get an admission, or if I'm going to have to do a discharge, or what. But the 7 short days that I have been off orientation, I've already done things for the first time that I never did on orientation, or at least not by myself. I've already had a discharge. It was my first time doing that on my own. I had to do a car seat test by myself. So I'm already on a roll, still learning as I go, of course. But I will say overall it's been great so far being off orientation. I really do like having my own patients. So in my unit, once you get off orientation, obviously you're not going to have your preceptor by your side the entire time. But thankfully you are assigned to a buddy, and your buddy is basically someone who works in your pod with you, and they're just there to answer your questions and help you out if you need it. But even people who aren't your buddy are going to be nice enough, and they're going to come to you and ask how things are going or if you need help. So it's really nice to just have that support even though I am off orientation. Being off orientation really has helped with my confidence. It's helped with my time management skills. I feel a lot more comfortable. Another thing that I do want to say is that once you get off orientation, at least for my unit, they assign us to more stable patients, so they're not going to throw you into the deep end and have you with the sickest patients that that are in the unit. So that's good. It kind of helps build your confidence starting off with stable patients, and as time goes on, you'll get patients who are a little more sick or critical. Another thing I do want to add is I'm proud of myself for this, because on orientation there were times where I would stay for 13 hours because I would be behind on charting or whatever, but so far I've been doing a good job getting out at about 7:15, 7:30 every day. So like I said, I've been working on my time management, and it's good to finally be on my own because I get to kind of set a routine or see what works for me and what doesn't work for me instead of doing what other people tell me to do. So overall, it's been a great experience so far. Like I said, I'm on my third week. We'll see how things go as time passes. But yeah, I am still nervous every day going into it, but that's perfectly fine. I always had experienced nurses ask me how I feel, and I would always say excited but nervous. And they always say, if you weren't nervous, I would be nervous. So it's completely normal and healthy to be nervous once you get off orientation. You need to be nervous because you're a new nurse, you haven't experienced a lot, and you literally have someone's life in your hands. Like, it can be a life and death situation if you're not practicing safely and correctly. So yeah, you need to be nervous. And a lot of people say that they are nervous for like a long time, like even in their third year, they're still nervous. So it's going to take some time. And everyone always says that the first year is the hardest too. But I don't know, I guess it's just a part of the job, and I guess I'll get through it. And so I do want to give an update too about the residency program that I'm in. If you watch my video about orientation and just the residency program, you'll know that we do have 4-hour sessions that we have to go to once a month. And so I've only been to 2. We were supposed to go to one, I think last week, or this week, I don't know. But it got canceled because it snowed, so we have to do a makeup day. And I do want to say, I just want to be honest with you guys, really. Those sessions have not been all that helpful. We kind of just talk about things that we already learned in nursing school, or just things that, it's just like general conversations, and I just thought it was going to be more like hands-on things, like actually talking about policies, or actually practicing like IV starts or something, you know, that I could actually use with me on my unit. But yeah, we haven't done that. Hopefully it'll get better as time goes on, but I do want to give you guys an update about that and be honest. But with that being said, I do still encourage you to do a new grad program because it is helpful. It's great to have support from a team that knows you're new, and you know, orientation is going to be great for you, but just being in a new grad program, you have like all this extra tools and support for you. The new grad program does offer CNEs or CEUs, which is basically continued nursing education, just credits that you get for attending these 4-hour sessions. If you miss one session out of the 12, you don't get these credits, unfortunately. So you want to make sure you go to each class, but I will say it is good to have because depending on what state you're in, you have to have a certain number of CEUs each year or every 2 years, and it's just part of like keeping up with your license. So like you have to do it. So these residency classes, I guess, are worth it in the end. But I did just want to give you guys an update and my honest opinion on mine. Maybe your program will be different, but just wanted to be honest about that. Another thing that I did want to add in too is being a nurse is not just going to work and then going home and you're done. It is for the most part, but at least on my unit, they do want us to be a little more involved. Like, they expect us to go to a certain number of staff meetings each year. They also want us to join a committee, so you can just pick something that you're interested in, whether it's like skin, pain, or anything else, and just join that committee so that you can try to improve things in the unit. Also, after working for 9 months, which is our probation period, they expect us to start floating. So I do want you guys to be aware of the additional things that may be expected of you depending on your hospital or your unit. It is really good to be involved, but because I'm a new grad, they don't really expect much from me yet. But after a few months, or at least after my first year, they will expect more from me. So that's pretty much it for this video. I just want to let you guys know that I am doing well so far. Being off orientation is good. We'll see how things go with more time, but right now I'm really happy. I feel okay about what's going on. It's not as scary as I thought it was going to be, but I do still go into work nervous, but everything has been just fine with every shift. I haven't had any like extremely scary moments out there yet. Nothing bad has happened, so I just want to let you guys know, if you pay attention to orientation, do what's expected of you, and if you're safe, take your time, you'll be just fine. If I can do it, you most certainly can do it too. So that was just my update. If you're close to getting off orientation or starting a new job, good luck, and I know you guys will do just fine. I will see you guys in the next video, and have a lovely day.